Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a very exciting video because my boyfriend's taking me on a shopping spree to Barnes & Noble for my very late Christmas present. There's a car passing by. So my boyfriend kind of doesn't know how to shop for me for Christmas. I think I'm a very hard person to shop for, so he basically said that whatever I buy for him for Christmas, the value of it is also how much I can spend at Barnes & Noble. So I think that I'm going to be spending about $300 today. So it's exciting. I don't know what 300 bucks looks like in Barnes & Noble books yet because the prices are very iffy there, so I'm not really sure, but I'm excited. I don't know how much filming I'm going to do in there because I'm not really comfortable filming in public yet, but it's exciting, and you get to meet my boyfriend for the first time today, I think. So he'll be in the car in a second, but we're gonna go. I need to get gas in the way, and then we're good to go. So talk to you in a bit. Are you having fun? Mm-hmm. I really don't like my makeup today. It's fine. Hello everyone, welcome to the second part of this video. It's been a while since I talked to you. I've had a bunch of other content that I wanted to get it out. This is already going to be a really great video. I had a bunch of other content that I wanted to get out before I finished off this one. So yeah, it's been like a month since I got those books, but I still have them in the bag, kept them in the bag so that I can talk to you guys about them and show them to you. So yeah, sorry I didn't get a lot of vlog footage. It was very much an in and out kind of thing because, well, first of all, we're trying to be safe because of COVID, and also like Daniel had to carry all the books and also do the math at the same time, so I felt really bad for him because he had like a bunch of books in his hands and he was trying to do the math and stuff while I was like kept like throwing books at him, so like I obviously had to hurry up. And also I'm gonna tell you guys something about myself because I feel like it'll let you get to know my reading habits more. I'm gonna show you how neurotic I am when it comes to cataloging what books I want and stuff like that. So I have a notes thing on my phone where I have all my book series. So here's all my book series. I'm not going to show you all of it because obviously I have a lot, but these are all the books that I still have to read in said series. So I still have like, so there are books I'm buying next. It'll be in that, you know, I catalog everything so I know what I'm buying next because I don't allow myself to buy the next book in a series until I have finished the first book in the series. If I happen to come across the second or like the third or the fourth books in the series, I'll just buy it because it's just easier to do it that way because I want to get through the series more often, but it's all here. I have all of that here. And then lower on my list, I have, it's taking me a while to get down there. Give me 1 second, please. Oh my god, okay. I have all the books that I want to buy. So these are all titles that I have not read anything from the series yet, or it's a standalone or whatever, so these are all books that I don't own, or the first book in the series or whatever is before that. So these are all these books that I want to buy and become acquainted with. So in order to keep on top of my series and also on top of the books that I want to come in my collection to start on the series or whatever, I have another section in my notes saying books I'm buying next, which I always let myself buy the next book in the series and then another book to go along with it so that I can keep my Amazon wish list not as many books on it, right? That wasn't correctly structured sentence, but that's okay. So I have like everything here, and all goes in order of how my books are on my want to read list on Goodreads, and whatever books on my wish list first gets to go bought first and stuff like that. So I'm very neurotic when it comes to my book cataloging because I want to keep everything like fair, kind of, because if I were only to buy the books that I wanted to read, or were still like not want to read because I want to read all the books on my list, but like books that I like am most excited for, it'd be the newer books on my list, obviously, because it's books I'm newer acquainted with. So try to keep it fair, try to keep it all together. So with that being said, going into Barnes & Noble and having a bunch of money to spend was very easy because I already know books I wanted to buy in the first place. So I limited myself to only buying books that weren't part of the series because I wanted to buy new books that I have not become acquainted with yet. So yeah, I don't think that was really important for me to say, but I wanted to say it anyways. And I ended up spending $288. Daniel spent $280 on my books, but I originally was above $300, but then my discount dropped down to $280, which if you don't have the Barnes & Noble discount yet, you need to get it because it really discounts a lot for your stuff and you get free shipping and everything. It's really nice. And before you come into my comments saying, your boyfriend spent too much on you, why would you let him do this, and this? It's like, I spent the same amount on him for Christmas, so it's only fair, okay? We go kind of hard for holidays. It's just how we are as a couple, so do not come in my comments and judge me or my boyfriend for how much we spend on each other. We know it's a bit much, but we do it anyways every year. So yeah, let's get into the haul. I did make an oops. I'll get into how I made the oops, but we're gonna get into it. Let me show you the bag because I still have it in the bag for you guys. Oh my god. It's a big bitch. I didn't even know that they had books as big at Barnes & Noble, or bags as big at Barnes & Noble, but they do. Am I even showing you like this sheer mass of... Let me take a thumbnail real quick while I have it on my hand. My cat came because you heard a bag rustle. You need to move out of the way. Please. Come here. Come down here. Yeah, I know. It's very exciting. There's a big bag going around. Okay. Some of these books I could not get like a good summary for. So I'm going to read you the synopsis. So I'm sorry if you see me looking down at this thing a lot. It's because I screenshot the synopsis and I just want to read it to you because sometimes it's just easier to read you synopses versus summarizing them because I have like 19 books to talk about and that's a lot of things to memorize. So, handy dandy phone coming first. First, we have Those Who Pray by Jennifer Moffat. This is a YA, I guess mystery-ish / fantasy book. Look at the cover. Love it. I'm gonna read a synopsis because it very much is a good synopsis, so let's read it. So it says, college life isn't what Emily expected. She expected to spend freshman year strolling through the ivy-covered campus with new friends, finally feeling like she belonged. Instead, she walks the campus alone, still not having found her place or her people so far away from home. But then the Kingdom finds her. The Kingdom, an exclusive on-campus group, offers everything Emily expected of college and more. Acceptance, friends, a potential boyfriend, and a chance to spend the summer in Italy on a mission trip. But the trip is not what she thought it would be. Emily and the others are stripped of their passports and money, they're cut off from their families back home, the Kingdom's practices become increasingly manipulative and dangerous, and someone ends up dead. At times unsettling and always riveting, Those Who Pray looks at the allure of cult life. I really want the cult trope to be redeemed for me because I did end up reading a cult book earlier this year and I hated it. I really didn't like it. So I really am intrigued by cults. I like watching videos on real cults that happened and or are still happening. You know. So I'm excited to read that. And also it looks really pretty and yeah. I don't know. I wanted it. I bought it. Obviously. Okay, next is probably the one I'm most excited for. I did not... Here it is. Okay. The cover is really what did this for me because I think this was like one of the prettiest covers of the year for me. But it is Don't Tell a Soul by Kirsten Miller. Look at this. Oh my god, it's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. And once again, it is like another mystery-ish book. So usually mystery synopsis always end up being the best. Like I can't summarize it, so I'm going to read it to you once again. So it says, that's a modern day Rebecca. So it says, people say the house is cursed. It preys on the weakest and young women are its favorite victims. In Luth, they're called the Dead Girls. All Bram wanted was to disappear from her old life and her family's past and from a scandal that continues to haunt her. The only place left to go is Luth, the tiny town on the Hudson River where her uncle James has been renovating an old mansion. But James is haunted by his own ghosts. Look at that. She is deciding to be an issue today for some reason. Okay, you have to come over here if you're gonna sit here because I don't have time for this. Okay? Okay. Everything got all messed up because of you now. I love you. Okay. Okay. Girl, you have to come sit down. You have to. I'm gonna film this because... Kitty! Oh my god. Oh my god. Only people with cats will understand how difficult it is to literally get anything done in this world when you have a cat because they just love to mess everything up. Oh my god. Now that we're back, I'm just gonna restart. Stupid cat. Okay. Months earlier, his beloved wife died in a fire that people say was set by her daughter. The tragedy left James a shell of a man Bram knew and destroyed half the house he'd so lovingly restored. The manor is creepy and so are the locals. The people of Luth don't want outsiders like Bram in their town, and with each passing day she's discovered that the rumors they spread are just as disturbing as the secrets they hide. Most frightening of all are the legends they tell about the dead girls whose lives were cut short in the very house Bram now calls home. Terrifying realities that the dead girls may have never left the manor, and if Bram looks too hard into the town's haunted past, she might not either. That sounds so good. I'm so excited for this. I'm going to say that a lot in this video because honestly, when I'm hauling a lot of books, it's kind of hard to talk about different things about the books. So like, I'm going to say excited a lot and stuff like that. So I apologize in advance, but it's going to happen. I apologize. All right. Next, we have The Blaze Wrath Games by Amparo Ortiz. This is a new YA fantasy series, and this is about a girl named Lana, or Lena. Let me look. So it's set in an alternate contemporary world where dragons and their riders compete in a national sports tournament. And our main character, Lana, wants to represent Puerto Rico for the first time ever in the games, and she has the opportunity to when Puerto Rico's runner is kicked off of the team, Lana gets her chance to represent Puerto Rico herself. When she discovers that a former superstar has teamed up with a dragon who is cursed to look like a human or to live in a human body, the games get jeopardized. The pair are burning down dragon sanctuaries until the games are canceled, and Lana has to navigate between a conspiracy theory and like protecting herself as well as trying to solve what's going on. I haven't read many books that have Puerto Rico rep in it, so I'm excited to finally read a book that has that because, yeah, it sounds really good. Once again, the Puerto Rico rep is just going to be amazing, and I'm so excited. Hopefully I think it's Own Voices, so I feel like it's going to be done in a good way because she is an Own Voices author, so let's hope, right? Next we have All the Stars and Teeth by Adeline Grace. This is a YA fantasy book, first book in a series, and it's about a girl named, what is her name? Amora. And Amora spends her entire life training to become an animancer, which means that she has power over souls, and she is preparing for her like trial, but then when the trial goes awry, she is cast off the island, and she meets a guy named Bastien who can promise to give her or prove that she is worthy of the throne if she can help Bastien reclaim his stolen powers. A destructive new magic is on the rise, and if Amora is to conquer it, she'll need to face legendary monsters, cross paths with vengeful mermaids, and deal with a stowaway she never expected, or risk the fate of the city and lose the crown forever. This was an Owl Crate book a few months ago, so I feel like the hype for this has kind of died down, but I'm excited because the second book just came out, which I put in the anticipated releases of February that I made last month, or was it this month? I guess it was last month technically, but yeah. So I'm excited for that, and the second book just came out, so I'm excited to read it and move on with the series. I think it's going to be a trilogy. So, next we have Girl Serpent Thorn by Melissa Basher Doust. This is another YA fantasy book. I think this one's a standalone about a girl named Soraya, and she has always lived in the gardens with, you know, away from her family. But as the day of her twin brother's wedding approaches, Soraya has to decide whether she wants to come out of her gardens or not. Below in the dungeon, a demon is being held for his crimes, and he holds the answers that Soraya wants. And above is a young man who is not afraid of her and doesn't look at her with disgust or fear. It's always, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Empathy? Or sympathy? And she begins to question who she really is, a demon or a human. I know that a vague synopsis, but I am excited for it nonetheless. This was another, I think this was a fairy lit book. So once again, it's pretty hyped. Also, the cover is absolutely beautiful. I am very intrigued to see where the gardens come from. I think this is based off of Persian mythology maybe, or I'm not really sure. Tell me in the comments below if you know, because I'm not entirely sure, but it doesn't say whether it's like a retelling or not, but it sounds like it's very fairy tale like, and I love books like that, so I am very excited for this. Next we have The Vanishing Deep by Astrid Schulte. This is a like YA dystopian book about, I'm gonna read a synopsis because it's just easier. So it says, I'll read it to you. 17-year-old Tempe was born into a world of water, with only a few islands remaining after the great waves hit centuries ago. Tempe spends her days diving, scavenging the ruins of a bygone era for anything of value. But it's not food or shelter she wants to barter for. It's a life. For on the island of Palindromina, okay, the dearly departed can be briefly resurrected for a steep price, and Tempe will pay anything for the chance to confront her sister about the secret she died keeping. But once revived, her sister Alicia has other plans. She doesn't want to spend her remaining hours atoning for a crime she insists she didn't commit. Instead, she persuades Tempe to break her out of the facility, and together they embark on a dangerous journey to discover the truth about their past to mend their broken bond. But Pal Andromeda will stop at nothing to bring them back before the truth behind their vile process and the ultimate cost of restored life is revealed. Sounds so good. I read her book For Dead Queens last year, which I absolutely loved. I still have that book, I think. And I loved her writing, and she's still like a newer author. She only has 2 books out, which is this being the 2nd book out. And yeah, it just sounds so good, and I'm so excited to read it, and it sounds like it's something I haven't really read before, so is this what we're going to be doing now? Okay. Another Scout cameo. Just trying to ruin the video, apparently. Okay. Next we have Agnes at the End of the World by, what's her name? Kelly McWilliams, and this is another cult book, and it's about a girl named Agnes, and she loves her Red Creek home. It's quiet, sunny mornings, it's quiet, whoa. So it says, Agnes loves her Red Creek home. It's quiet, sunny mornings, it's dusty roads, and it's God. There she cares tirelessly for her younger siblings and follows the town's strict laws. What she doesn't know is that Red Creek is a cult, controlled by a madman who calls himself a prophet. Then Agnes meets Danny, an outsider boy, and begins to question what is and isn't a sin. Her brother Ezekiel will die without the insulin she smuggles in once a month, even though medicine is forbidden. Is she a sinner for saving him? Is her sister Beth a sinner for yearning for the world beyond Red Creek? As a prophet grows more dangerous, Agnes realizes she must escape with Ezekiel and leave everyone else, including Beth, behind. But it isn't safe outside either. A viral pandemic is burning through the population at a terrifying rate. As Agnes ventures forth, she forms a mysterious connection with the virus. Will Agnes be able to choose between saving her family and saving the world? Another pandemic book. This might be a bit scary. Okay. Why you look so pretty? So, we'll see. Oh my god. Dude, what the fuck? It's your fault. Get down. Get down. Bitch. Oh my goodness. Okay. Once again, this is the 2nd time that you've messed something up with this video. You realize that, right? So yeah, it sounds like it's gonna be really fun. I'm excited for it. Once again, hopefully we'll start liking cult books more as I read more of them, and hopefully they're better than the last book I read. So yeah, whenever I'm home alone and my mom's at work, she instantly believes that she's gonna be alone forever and needs all the attention in the world that she possibly could get. So we're going to be seeing a lot more of her most likely, and I cannot do anything about it, so I apologize. Okay, next we have Ruin Song by Julia Ember. This is a female romance book, fantasy book about a girl named, let me look real quick. So it says, in a world where magic is sung, a mage named Cadence has been forced to torture her country's disgrace and ability for the queen. But when she is reunited with a childhood friend, a noble woman who ties with an underground rebellion, Cadence must make a choice. Take a stand under the freeing her country from oppression or becoming a monster like the queen. So a very short synopsis. It's not very long at all. It sounds like it's going to be so good, and I love gay romances so much, and I just love it because I am part of the LGBT community. So I am so excited to read more gay romance. I love it. I love it so much. So, and it sounds like it's really good. It's gotten really good reviews so far. So I think that's what I'm most excited for this entire video, honestly. Except for Don't Tell a Soul. That one I'm excited for too. One hand here. Next we have Star Daughter by Shweta Thakur. This is a YA fantasy book based around Hindu mythology, which first time for me. I'm so excited. It sounds like it's going to be so good. Once again, I would think this is both an Owlcrate and a Fairy Loot book, so if you've seen it before, that's probably where you've seen it. So it says, if the night sky holds many secrets, it holds Chatal's mystery secret the closest. A secret that explains why her hair is a silver of starlight, or why some nights the stars call Chatal by name. Stars like her mother, who returned to her place in the constellation Pushia years ago. Since that day, Chatal's been forced to hide. But as her 17th birthday draws near, the pull from the sky is growing stronger. So strong that Chatal loses control, and a flare of starfire burns her father, an injury only a full star's blood can heal. Chatal has no choice but to answer the star song and ascend to the sky. but her celestial family has summoned her for a reason, to act as their human champion in a competition to decide with the next ruling house of the heavens. Despite desperate to save her father, Shatal agrees, but nothing can prepare her, Shatal, to face the star's dark history of the forces that are working. Okay. Desperate to save her father, Shatal agrees, but nothing can prepare Shatal to face the star's dark history or the forces that are working to shut the gate between the realms for good. It sounds so good. Once again, literally so good. I'm so excited to read that. I think it's going to be amazing, and it's got a lot of good reviews so far. A lot of people I trust really liked that book, so I am very excited. Next we have Scapegraces by by Hannah Abigail Clark. Look at this cover. Oh, it's beautiful. They're very foiled. I love it. Another YA fantasy book. Another lesbian YA fantasy book. Beautiful. Amazing. Love it. It says, skulking near the bottom of West High's social pyramid, Sideways Pike lurks under the bleachers doing magic tricks for bottles of Coke. As a witch, lesbian, and lifelong outsider, she's had a hard time making friends. But when the 3 most popular girls pay her $40 to cast a spell at their Halloween party, Sideways gets swept into the new clique. The unholy trinity are dangerous angels, sugar-coated rattlesnakes, and now unbelievably Sideways' best friends. Together, the 4 bond to form a ferocious and powerful coven. They plan parties, cast curses on dude bros, and try to find Sideways a girlfriend, and elude the fundamentalist witchfinders hell-bent on stealing their magic. But for Sideways, the hardest part is the whole having friends thing. Who knew the balancing human interaction with supernatural peril could be so complicated? This sounds so cute, doesn't it? I think it sounds really adorable. I'm excited. I just can't get over the cover. I don't know, I keep like zeroing in on it. I'm like, yeah, it sounds nice. Next, we have The Other Side of the Sky by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. This is another, say it with me, a YA fantasy book about, oh my god. It's a really pretty spine. I didn't notice that until right now. Okay. So it says, I already fucked it up. Prince North's home is in the sky, a gleaming city held aloft by intricate engines powered by technology. But North believes his sky island is sinking. Its engines are failing, and the key to saving his home is to venture to the place where engines are first created. Nim is a living goddess of her people on the surface, responsible for providing answers, direction, and hope, but in the midst of the surface's worst crisis yet, a mist that spreads madness and poison, doubts have arisen among the people about Nim's divinity. She must find a way to manifest her power before she's overthrown and all is lost. North and Nim's lives are entwined through their hearts, though their hearts can never be, linked by a terrifying prophecy and caught between duty and fate. They must choose either to save their people or succumb to the bond that is forbidden to them. Forbidden love trope. Kind of a big fan of that. I'm excited to read that. Amy Kaufman's like the kind of writer where I haven't read anything by her yet, but I am excited to, and I feel like I own a lot of her books now because I own Illuminae, and now I own that book. And I think I also... Another book by her is also in this haul too, so 3 books now. So yeah, I'm kind of becoming like a big fan of her for some reason, and I don't know why. Well, I know why, she's good, but like, I'm just excited, okay? Next we have Woven in the Moonlight by Isabel Ibanez. This is another YA fantasy book about Bolivian politics and like Bolivian mythology, so very new to me, have not read a book about that before. But Jimena is a decoy condesa, a stand-in for the last remaining Illustrian royal. Her people lost everything when the Super Atok used an ancient relic to summon ghosts and drive the Illustrians from La Ciudad. Now Jimena is motivated by her insatiable thirst for revenge and her rare ability to spin thread from moonlight. When Atok demands the real Condesa's hand in marriage, it's Jimena's duty to go in her stead. She relishes the chance, as Illustrian spies have reported that Atok's no longer carrying his deadly relic anymore. If Jimena can find it, she can return this to the true aristocrata to the rightful place. She hunts for the relic using her weaving ability to hide messages and tapestries for the resistance. But when a masked vigilante, a warm-hearted princessa, and a thoughtful healer challenge Jimena, her mission becomes more complicated. There could be a way to overthrow the usurper without starting another war, but only if Jimena turns back on revenge and her Condesa. Sounds really interesting. Once again, everything sounds really interesting, or else I wouldn't have bought it, so I need to take a quick drink break though because my throat was dry from talking so much. Also, the cover is so cute. Like, look at, like, there's a sloth, some snakes, like, it all is just a precious, nice little llama on the back. I feel like if I don't like this book, I'm still going to want to keep the copy because I feel like I'm going to feel bad if I don't keep it because of how beautiful the cover is. But And the second book did just come out too, so I know that it's going to be a series, and I'm really excited about it, so it's super cute. Okay. Next we have Aurora Rising by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This is a YA sci-fi book about the year is 2380, and the graduating cadets of Aurora Academy are both assigned to the first missions. Star pupil Tyler Jones is ready to recruit the squad of his dreams, but is stuck with the drugs nobody else wanted. A cocky diplomat, a sociopath scientist, a smartass tech whiz, an alien warrior, and a tomboy pilot. Ty's squad is Nina's biggest problem. That'd be Aurora G. Lynn O'Malley, the girl he just rescued from the interdimensional space. Trapped in cryo-sleep for 2 centuries, Ari is out of time and out of her depth. But she could be the catalyst that starts a war a million years in the making. And Tyler's Squad and Misfits might just be the last hope for the entire galaxy. I've heard nothing but good things about this series. Like, nothing but good things. Like, I haven't heard one negative review. So I feel like I'm gonna like it, even though sci-fi is, like, not my best genre. It's not my favorite genre, but yeah. Oh my god, this cover is beautiful. The Dark Tide by Alicia Jasinka. This is another YA fantasy book. Can you tell that I like YA fantasy? Every year on St. Walpurga's Eve, Caldella's witch queen lures a boy back to her palace. An innocent life must be sacrificed on the full moon to keep the island city from sinking. Lena Kirk is convinced her brother is going to be taken this year, and to save him, she enlists the help of the mysterious Thomas Lynn, the boy she secretly loves, and the only person ever to escape from the palace. But they draw the queen's attention, and Thomas is chosen as a sacrifice. Queen Ava cast away her heart when her sister died for the boy she loved. Now, as a queen, she won't make the same mistake. With the tide rising and the islands whispering that Ava's magic is failing, she's willing to sacrifice anyone if it means saving the city. When Lena offers herself in exchange for Thomas's freedom, the two girls await the full moon together, but Lena is not at all what Ava expected, and the queen is something like Lena envisioned. Against their wills, they find themselves falling for each other. As water floods Caldella Street, the dark tide demands its sacrifice. They must choose who to save themselves, each other, or the island city relying on them both. Another lesbian romance. Beautiful, amazing, I'm so excited. Also the cover. Here's me crying about covers 20 minutes long. I don't know, I fucking love the cover and I feel like it's gonna be such a good book and I'm just so excited. But we're getting down to the last 3 now, so we're almost done. Okay. A Dark Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. This is a adult fantasy book. I feel like this needs no introduction, but I'll give you the synopsis anyway because, well, why not? Okay, so it says, welcome to Grey London. Dirty and boring without any magic, with one mad king, George III. Then there is Red London, where life and magic are revered, and White London, a city slowly being drained through magical war, down to its very bones. And once upon a time, there was a Black London, but no one speaks of that now. Officially, Kel is the Red Traveler, one of the last magicians who can travel between the worlds, acting as an ambassador and messenger between the Londons, in service of the Maresh Empire. Unofficially, he's a smuggler, which is a dangerous hobby for him to have, as proved when Kel stumbles into a setup with a forbidden token from Black London. Fleeing into Grey London, Kel runs afoul of Delilah Bard, a cut purse with lofty aspirations, who first robs him and then saves him from a dangerous enemy, and then forces Kel to spirit her to another world for proper adventure. But perilous magic is afoot, and treachery lurks at every turn. To save all the worlds, the first need to stay alive. Sounds really interesting. I have recently, I think I have like all of her books now, or at least all the first books in a series from her because I love her, so this is just another one I'm going to enjoy. I know I'm going to, but yeah. Okay. Next we have The Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black. This is another YA fantasy book about Hazel and her brother Ben live in Fairfold, where humans and the folk exist side by side. Since they were children, Hazel and Ben have been telling each other stories about the boy in the glass coffin, that he is a prince and they are valiant knights. But as Hazel grows up, she puts aside those stories. Hazel knows the horned boy will never wake, until one day he does. This is all part of the same world that the Cruel Prince is in, so it's nice. I'm excited. I want to read all of Holly Black's work, so I have a lot of her books. I haven't read all of them yet, but I have everything by her, basically, so I want to read everything by her, so yeah. It's just a little mini conquest about myself that I want to do this year, so. And then lastly, we have Through the Woods by Emily Carroll. This is a graphic novel horror. Ooh, pretty. Okay, this is just like a horror graphic novel that has like 4 short stories in it that are all different about the woods. There's not really much to say about it except for the fact that it's, yeah, not much else to say about it, but I love this color scheme. It sounds like it's gonna be so creepy, and the art style is absolutely gorgeous, and I'm so excited for it. Yeah, so that's everything. Holy crap. My throat is tired of talking. I feel like you're tired of hearing me talk. But it was fun. I really did enjoy this. I cannot wait to put all these on my shelves and read all of them and talk about them with you guys, because I feel like it's just a fun little thing that we did today. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon in another video. Have a good one. I hope that you're well. Goodbye. I just realized that I forgot to tell you the oops that I made because it's already out of the bag. So I'll show you right now. When I was in there, and I have no idea why I did this, but I did it. I ended up buying Starsight by Brandon Sanderson when I haven't read Skyward, so it literally fucking says sequel to Skyward, but I still bought it thinking it was the first book in the series. I don't know, but anyway, I have the second book now, and honestly, I basically took it upon myself to take it as a sign to order the first book immediately, so now I have the first book in the series too. I'm gonna try and find it real quick. Oh, I'm really close to the camera. I'm gonna try and find it real quick because I cannot find it. But anyway, I bought the first book because of this now, so I now have the first 2 books in the series, which usually I don't do, but whatever. It's about a girl named Spencer who is going to flight school to become a pilot, and her father was deemed a traitor because of the things that he did during like a certain war, I think, and that war is still going on to this day. So Spencer has a lot of prejudice against her because of the fact that her father does have such a bad reputation behind him, and because of that she still wants to go to flight school. So it just basically puts her in the middle of an entire war. I don't know if I did that right, but anyway, I feel like most people know what this book's about. So yeah, that's the oops I made, but now I have the first 2 books. So that's it. Goodbye.